Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a good evening and riding these energies out. They're a little intense. It's been an interesting day, to say the least. Um, yeah, I, I've just kind of felt since the solar flares this morning, um, just an intensity all day. And then even later this afternoon, I actually was quite nauseous and um, I don't want to say dizzy, but definitely um, what's the best word for it? Just kind of like a buzzy feeling throughout the body, where it's like I don't often take my rescue remedy, but I had to take it today because, ooh, so that it's a bit there. It's starting to calm down a little bit now, um, but usually I'm expecting there's going to be some more flares over the night. So yeah, I'm glad you could join us tonight, even if you couldn't join live. This video is good anytime past the point of when you need to watch it. It will be right for you. So before we do some cards, I'm just going to kind of go through just a few of the aspects of what's going on and why maybe the energy might be so intense. We don't really have really great answers on why there's so much solar activity all of a sudden. I just read a thing that an article that said there's been more solar flares in these first four months than there had been in 2019, 2020, and 2021. So that's a lot of activity all coming at us at once. And it is kind of rare too when we see a solar flare, especially a big one between the M's. Again, it goes C is the smallest, middle, and then X being a fairly significant one. Um, and then to have solar wind in the very same day. Actually, the solar winds that we got earlier this week on I think it was about Wednesday, there was no sort of reason that they should have been coming in. There wasn't a solar flare that matched up with them. There was some earth directed coronal holes, but nothing really happened with them. So yeah, just to know, we're all shifting and changing, including the universe. So um, basically, we're just going to kind of talk about the different things going on. Um, when the solar flares do get that intense, just make sure what we're going to do actually tonight is a meditation for grounding into our body. So it sounds a little weird to get into our body, to have an out of body experience, which is kind of what's about to happen. But it's important that we're really grounded heading into this so that we don't get too, I don't want to say off track, but just feeling so off that it's not manageable in our day-to-day life. And also the reason we're going to do some body work is that this is our body here on Earth, and Earth is our body within the universe. And so this new moon that we're having today is it's the new moon, and it's in Taurus. So Taurus is an Earth sign, but we'll get into that in a second here. And we also had a solar eclipse, well, partial solar eclipse this morning. So eclipses, and again, we're going to have this one on the new moon, and then on the full moon near the mid to end of the month, there is the lunar eclipse. So basically, what's going to happen with that is it's best described as right now we open a corridor or a door, and then we've got that 2-week period where we walk down the corridor, and then we close the door. So usually it's again beginnings and endings. It's really funny that this eclipse is starting on a new moon, which is all about new beginnings. So just in particular, this eclipse this time, sometimes they can bring like sudden and unexpected changes. So they're sometimes feared a little bit. But all indications, just the way some of the planets are lined up, which we'll get into in a second, and this huge amount of energy coming in, is that this one is the start of something good. Finally, we've been waiting so long for that. So the new moon, again, bringing in the new. So we're just building and building on this energy. A couple of things I saw is that people keep referring this new energy as a chance for us to reset. We've been doing all this shadow work and, trying to clear things that no longer serve us, for some of us for years, some of us from just the beginning of this year. And now this is the moment where we get the chance to reset our frequency. So if you've been struggling with this whole 3D, 5D concept, and this Earth versus what we are calling New Earth, first of all, New Earth isn't like a destination. It's not a new planet that we're just going to beam up to. It is our consciousness raising in frequency to create this better world, what this should be, what it was always meant to be. But it's so dense in energy down here that it's separating. It makes us feel like we're separated, but we're not. But it separates us from thinking we can be better when we have all the tools and everything to get there. So when we say raising your vibration or your frequency, it's a matter of we're trying to ask you to move your energy into the field of up here where things are better and we're not in this muck and the mire all the time. So it's, and I think right now, just why it's so disconcerting with everything going on is we've got one foot in both worlds, whether we're completely conscious of that or not. But so this is this is the reset button, this corridor. This is allowing us to start to really put into action those things that help us raise that frequency. So getting out of fear, trying to stay out of everything that causes fear, which is half the stuff in our world right now. So it's being in the world, but not of the world. I know that's a little contrary to how you say, but it is. It's just like being the observer, constantly sitting back. When things start to pull you into fear, trying to pull yourself into the lighter, into the lighter vibration. This moon is in Taurus, which is an earth sign. So it's grounding these new energies in. So this is our chance to take this light that's coming in into our bodies and to utilize it in a way that's beneficial for us and our, if you want to call it, ascension or our next steps. So we're going to ground these new energies into life on Earth here, right? And because that's starting to come into the body, a lot of us are feeling it super physically right now. So I've heard lots of aches and pains, headaches, that dizziness kind of feeling, but it's not dizziness, nausea. So again, our best way that we can stay earthbound is to really link into our root chakra, and just know that this is a time of, it's opening up awakening and inner peace, and that you have the safety and security of being here on planet Earth. And we're, as long as we're grounded, we can start to embody this light and raise our frequency. Like I said, it's a weird thing to say we're going to have an in-body experience to have an out-of-body experience. Sorry, the dog isn't here, so hopefully he doesn't like the smoke, but then he has to be beside me. So anyway, moving on. So this is a time to focus on what we truly value, and what adds value to your life. What will bring you root chakra stuff, which is well-being and fulfillment, right? So when we're out of balance in root chakra in those areas, this is when we get into depression. We're up in our head too much, and we're thinking of a million scenarios. And this is where we find a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety. So yeah, this is about working on ways to really get like real with yourself about what adds value to your everyday well-being and fulfillment. Um, so definitely some easy ways to do this if you find yourself needing some tools. Mantras, affirmation work, prayers, um, all to what you truly want to manifest. Again, it's the manifestation piece. We need to be really clear on what it is we want. And again, it's more of an emotional, and it is a physical state, but it's not like material, if that makes sense. So physically, I just want to, know that I am well and that I'm fulfilled in my life, and that um, I need and want to feel that safety and security all the time. We have it anyway, it's just we forget. There's also going on kind of right now. I didn't get into the retrogrades because there's a couple. I think Mercury's in retrograde, but um, I don't think it's as important as this other conjunction that's happening right now is like super rare. I didn't get the amount of years it is, but it's Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune in a triple conjunction. I think it hasn't happened for like, I don't want to say a year. It's a long time, and we won't see it again probably in our lifetimes. Anyway, so what those three are doing in a nutshell is showering the energy of peace and joy and blessings. And like, yeah, Venus, love, Jupiter, expansion. I'm going to totally forget what Neptune does and should have written it down. But anyway, it's just building. Like I said, we're in this strange corridor that we haven't been in for a long time, where something good is actually coming. So take a breather and rest, and then understand that it's actually going to be okay, even though it doesn't feel like it sometimes. Sorry, my notes won't stay up on this thing. Okay, so then tomorrow, and I will be doing holding space Sunday tomorrow, but it's actually the Celtic, pagan, I don't know, kind of goes to both, celebration of Beltane. So I'll cover a little bit more about that. But basically, what Beltane literally translates to is the good fire. Traditionally, you would see it would be feasts or gatherings, ceremonies, always accompanied by a large bonfire. So it's the midpoint between spring equinox that we've just had and heading into summer solstice. So it focuses on all the new things. Again, this theme of new, 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 which is generally what our springs are like. But this is, we're just having it hammered in by all these extra energies adding to it, which is good. So we're focusing on new growth, seeding, and the goodness of spring. That's not hard. Yeah, and we already talked about the solar flares. So just to kind of cap those up, we had a blast from the sun. There was two M classes, I think, between 4 and 5 a.m. Mountain, and then we had a bigger M class around 8 or 9 in the morning, and then an X flare around 10 or 11. The high solar winds continue, like I said. All this energy, just so we know, is flowing in to aid our raising of our frequency for our new beginning. And this is our new beginning, not just but all of us. So it is coming in. These things take time. I know. It's a lot of always asking for patience. So basically, the focus of tonight, that one just jumped out. The focus of tonight is purely going to be kind of the energy update, the cards, the meditation. If you can stick around, I would. It's just going to help us get like grounded into our bodies, and really just, I think that'll help us weather these energies better, in my opinion. All right. So I always use the Moonology deck on the moons, even though it's different moon cards. But the first one is, you're close to achieving your goal. That's a good card for all of us. So again, it's just like, just building on this thing that all this work we've been doing. And, I know some of us, even me, like, I'm just like, this is taking forever. And I've been doing this for a long time. So it's like we've been waiting and waiting and waiting to see results. But this is the first time where I'm starting to really feel it and know that this is happening. So it is taking long though, let me tell you. I would just like to like flip a switch and we go tomorrow, but that's not how it works. Confidence is the key to your success. So again, just making sure I that's part of the manifestation thing too, is like being really confident in knowing what you want. What do you want to see? What do you want to feel? And then the other one is the answers you need are coming. So again, if that's that same, I feel like I can hear you guys, and you're like, I don't understand how to raise my vibration and that sort of thing. Like I said, prayers, mantras, affirmations, whatever works for you. Just understand that everything we're speaking is coming to fruition fairly quickly. So if you're not sure how to do it, besides asking me, if you want to send me a private message, ask your guides and ask the universe and just say, show me how to do this. How may I be in service? How do I how do I how do I raise my vibration? And your answers will come. Now for the rest of the cards, it's funny because I picked a few decks, but I'm not sure I'm going to use them all yet. When I always do the cards before to make sure I picked the right decks. And then, yeah, it just didn't. It just didn't. They didn't seem to be what I wanted. Ooh, we got 4 of these. Okay, so we're using the portal cards. I was kind of using these portals because I kind of see that Beltane as a corridor down a hallway to get us to summer solstice. So these next 4 cards I'm going to read are kind of going to be in that vein. What from this corridor, what can we expect up until summer solstice? So let's have a look. Let's keep coming up. The Temple of Truth, throat chakra, authenticity, self-expression. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of censorship going on in this world right now, not just on social media and those sorts of things, but in even in our own personal lives, we have to watch what we say to other people. We should do anyways. But it's also we have that need to be authentic, and we have to start expressing our truth. We just have to learn to do it in these next few months as kindly and courteously as we can. But it's just time to. There's no more stifling your voice. It's not good for us, and it's not good for this transition. The Gaia Gateway activation, learning experiences, wisdom transmission, and earth intelligence. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Again, with the grounding, we're going to focus on that today. Nature. Just always go back to nature. It's in the right frequency. It's in the frequency that you want to be in. So, and by going into nature, I'm not, if you only get like 2 minutes a day, just sit and watch a bird flutter about and you'll feel the difference. Or right now, what I like to do when I'm walking the dog, because he likes to sniff everything, but he likes particularly trees, right? So while he's sniffing around, I look up and I can see all the little shoots and buds growing, and if you tune in, you can feel the energy of growth. Like you can feel these things, and that's part of the gifts I think that we're going to have coming online. So connect with nature if you're having trouble with this whole raising frequency. Just know that your frequency is already being raised by the sun. Yeah. Next, during this, lots of stuff, halls of learning. There was learning in that last card. Spirit guides, confirmation, great lessons. Yeah. So just know that there's a lot of teachings coming forth for all of us here. And just enjoy the school of life while it's still here, because I think we're about to graduate. So I know you would know you were going to graduate or not, but on this planet, you have no idea when it's coming. It's just going to be like a surprise graduation pop-up. Surprise. You did it. The last one is star being healing codes, important information, wounds are healed, recharging. This is the sun. This is it's hard to see the face on there. There it is. Okay, so this is this mass amount of assistance we're getting from the sun and outside, and just beaming that onto Earth to transform. So just understand that at the core, there's not a lot of work you have to do. I mean, we've done, most of us have done some of that shadow work. If you haven't, like, and stuff is still coming up, you still want to work on that. You can't just push it aside. But it's at the point where, like, things are being healed for us. So, and we're just supposed to be recharging and getting ready to take in all this information, which is coming in light codes. It's the easiest way to explain it. So, yeah, we're kind of in that corridor where most of that baggage that we were carrying with us, we've hopefully released a good deal of it. There might still be things that pop up. That's just being a human. So work through those, or just take a. It sounds terrible, but take a breather and just say, ask the simple questions. What is my lesson? What are you here? What were you here to teach me? And then honestly, it's almost like as much releasing and letting go as we can do is going to help us to move through this a lot faster. So, all right, we're going to do these guys. I'll save the starseed ones for the end. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I just felt like I might use those for the week for the card reading. I hope you guys liked the card reading. I'm going to try to do that again on Monday. Do a 3-card reading for every day, see what the energy's bringing us. And then, those two. All right, 1 second here. Okay, so let's read these 3, then we'll do the meditation, and then I'll just kind of tune in and see if there's any other cards that we need to do. Okay, I think we got this last week. Inner power. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. This is strictly where we are right now. I know I have to be honest. I've had days where I don't do very much. And I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I just was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm too tired. I don't have the strength. This is too much. Like, this is too much. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of energy coming in. But then I also came here to do this and came here to see this. So pull up your big girl panties and get going, right? Karma. There's nothing from the past life that cannot be addressed in the current life. So I think this is just saying, again, it's a time for healing right now. So as things come up, I feel like I'm being trite, and I'm really trying not to be here, but it's almost like we have the ability to heal this like that. Like just acknowledging it and releasing it, and hopefully and understanding the lesson in it, right? That's what was the teaching in it. I think, I know sometimes saying that people would disagree with me because they're just like, oh, you have to do this work. And I just think the time has passed. The best way to say it is, if it comes up, just, acknowledge it, and then start to work on letting it go as quickly as possible, because it's not helping you if you're not getting the lesson right away. It's not really the best explanation, but let's read the other 2 cards and see. Deepening. Once you're on Earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping detachment and surrender. They bring the peace of God. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, is surrender to it, allow it to, don't hang on to it, practice detachment and surrender, and, honestly, give it up to God. Just be like, I cannot handle this anymore or deal with this anymore. I thought I've dealt with this. I give it to you. I surrender it. I know that sounds simple and it may not work, but flow is the other one. Allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. There, that's it. By surrendering, we're able to act more from calmness and peace. When we cling on to stuff and are really attached and think we have to like manipulate it and fix it, and we take ourselves out of that flow. So we don't want to be there right now. We want to be flowing. We want to be accessing this energy and allowing it to change us. All right. What we're going to do to help with these energies tonight is a meditation on it's again for this Taurus kind of thing. It's on the elements, the 4 elements, and then the ether. So it's going to help us to ground and get into our body so that we're in a solid space as all of this comes in, so that we are able to look up and see that light. That's the best way I can explain it right now. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do is find your comfortable place. I'm just going to do a little saging here. And once you're comfortable, make sure you've got all the fidgets out and all that stuff. And then once you feel nice and relaxed or comfortable in where you're sitting, I'm going to get you to take in a deep breath and just you can audibly let everything out. And then begin to close your eyes and really start to settle in. We're going to start like we always do by breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to do that 3 times. Try to count up to 4 as you inhale and out to 4 as you exhale. Breathe, rest, and release. Imagine yourself walking across a vast desert. The warmth of the sand can be felt beneath your feet. The sun above you is bright and warm and comforting. We are grounded and deeply connected with Mother Earth. A whisper into our ear reminds us our body is earthly matter, and to that matter we will return. This element of earth presents us with the gift of body awareness. Breathe and rest. Continuing to walk on now through the desert, an object appears in the distance. As we approach closer, a vast volcano comes into view. The volcano is erupting and shooting red and orange hot lava up into the sky. As it pours down the mountain, the pooling lava is alight with flames. This element of fire represents the heat our body can generate. It is a radiant heat. It is eternal and the energy we can feel in the palms of our hands. This energy creates metabolic and chemical reactions within our body that keep us alive. This gift is life force energy. Breathe and rest. Continuing on now past the volcano, we walk along a mountainous structure. At the midpoint of the rocks, an incredibly powerful waterfall empties down into a large pool of water. This element of water is our life-sustaining nectar. Our body is made up of over 70% water. Water connected to our emotions. This gift of water relates to a calm personality, and the gift given here is love, compassion, and contentment. Breathe and rest. Walking along further, we begin to feel a gentle breeze blowing us from our back. We are gently lifted up into the air, now floating above the earth, above into the clouds. Air flows freely throughout the body and feeds every cell with oxygen. This gift of life is this breath, this life-sustaining element of air. Breathe, relax, and savor each precious intake and exhale of air. We now begin to float up again, higher this time, far above the earth and into the dark and silence of space. Here is the element of ether. It is ever present, humbling, and residing in the background. It provides the container for the other elements to interact with one another and then create this blue-green world we inhabit. The gift here is referred to often as the void, the no-thingness, a place of solace, a place of rest. Pause here a moment in the silence and breathe. These 5 elements remind us that substances of the natural world are harmonious with the human body and can connect to this, and we can connect to this natural world at any time. Go outside, stand on the ground in bare feet, plant a garden, drink water, bathe in water, eat plants, use herbs, have a bonfire or light candles, gaze up at the moon and the stars in wonder, breathe in deeply and savor each breath. Breathe and rest. We now begin our descent down from space, back through the clouds in the air, touching down softly upon the desert sand. Make sure both your feet are connected to the ground. Reconnect and ground yourself to Mother Earth. Bring your hands to heart center. Breathe. Give a prayer of thanks to the elements. And breathe. Give a prayer and thanks to your body for its beautiful existence. May peace and love be with you. Continue to breathe softly and just rest. I'm going to do a little bit of bowls just to kind of do some tones. Just making sure, still staying at heart center and basking in that peace and that love. Continue to breathe. Make sure you're coming back into the space where you are, that you are feeling grounded and reconnected. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right. Woo. I liked that last little ring. It just like rang out all the stuff we don't need. I felt it. I hope you did. It probably woke you up out of your meditation. Sorry, it was a bit much. All right. I wasn't going to do these, but I am. And then we'll call it a night. Yeah. So now I've got my second wind. Before I didn't think I was going to make it to this meditation. I thought I was going to like fall asleep in my chair. Anyway. Okay. So the first card is Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? So, we don't need to lead like this, like people, or like we can just lead within our communities. We can lead within our families. It only means one other person. So that just it's just asking us to start, if you're here watching this, you probably have an inkling that something different is going on this planet. Because you can start to see that. You wouldn't be here if you couldn't see that light. So it just means that slowly more people are going to, as these little lights come on, people are going to be drawn into your lighthouse and they're going to need you to help them. I think that's all that's asking us, is just be ready. There's a couple of lions on this card. So I'm just getting that this is like something that's part of our new way of doing things, heading up to Lionsgate, which is in August 8th. So yeah. So just start to, just help people out. We came here to help people out. They're going to start asking. My practice has gone from 0 Reiki to like incredible amounts of Reiki and card readings. And there's lots of people coming online. And so it's nice to be able to help. Yeah, share your voice. Man, I don't know who's watching right now, but this is for you directly. On the live. And then if you are watching this and you're like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, we're being asked to like come out of the cave, expression, start. Yeah, hey, we're weird. We believe that like we're ascending and Earth is changing. Yeah, maybe you don't want to do it like that. But yeah, again. And then this one is longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So if you don't know what a light worker is, we're just energy that came to this planet because we knew this change was going to happen. So we came here to help. It's just time to turn your light on and get going. And it's as simple as that. It's just raising your frequency. It's just raising your frequency and starting to shine that light, or be a container for that light. So again, stay grounded. And if for any reason you're watching this right now and you're like, I'm not that, I don't know what she's talking about. Like, yeah, there's no accidents. There's no coincidences. You're here for a reason. And it's probably because you're a light worker. Anyway, like attracts like. I'll just put that out there. Okay. 3 more cards and then we'll call it a gift. Yeah. Okay. Called. Hello, you're a light worker. It's time to get working. Light and worker. Let's start putting those two together. Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. Yeah. That's why I started doing this channel, because I knew I got the knock a long time ago, which I'm not bragging or anything. But then the further knock was, now go gather up the rest of them, because it's time. Big picture thinking. It's a nice big portal there. Pleiadian energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Yeah, so just start to dream a little bit about, honestly, it's more specifically, it's not about what job am I going to do and like how am I going to meditate better. This is bigger picture thinking. How can I help people? How can I help people with energy? Um, Gosh, I'm getting this thing too. This is a specific portal, but it's not the Lion's Gate, although that's coming. I think this is summer solstice. So, yeah, I mean, we're in the corridor, right? Like it's between now and solstice is you're going to be able to access this energy and really understand it for the first time where you're like, I can feel everything you're talking about. And the last one, oh, a little bit of karmic again, karmic relationships. Ooh, oh, this gets really deep. I'm not going to read that part only because it's a really deep concept and we'll be here till like, well, 11 o'clock at night, which I'm kind of tired, so I don't want to do. The two I will read is polarity and soul growth and conflict. And how I'm going to explain this is, yes, we live on a planet down here of dense, polarizing energy. You can see that. Just flip on the news or make a comment on Facebook and someone will, doesn't matter what you say, you'll get challenged on it. So we have this polarity constantly going on. So that's the density that we're in right now. And it does make it hard to open up to the light. This conflict goes back to karma we've had. I always like to use a quote from Battlestar Galactica, the redone series, which is all of this has happened before and all of it will happen again. So we've had these conflicts within the universe before, and we're just playing out this last little bit of it. But this time we have that soul growth and we're learning. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you really want to dive down a rabbit hole, you can look up the Orion Wars. Yay! No, don't do that unless you're like really like into outer space and kind of believe that there's lots of races um, of other species out there in the universe. Yeah. Anyway, basically, when I and now everyone's gonna just think I'm totally nuts, but basically, here Star Wars is a documentary, and it's not about the future; it's about our past. I'm just gonna leave that there. Just blow your mind right before you go to sleep. Okay. Anyway, hopefully that doesn't keep you up because just pretend I was joking. Anyway, yeah, I hope that you really have an okay night. I know it's going to be a little intense. Some of us are going to sleep. Some of us are probably going to be wired but tired. Yeah, it's going to be a plethora of things. So hopefully that meditation was good enough to ground you, and hopefully I didn't just wreck it by talking about weird stuff. But anyway, try to get as much sleep as you can. Drink lots of water. Uh, I've had a couple texts tonight from people that went out in public and they immediately went home and went to watch a movie because it's a little weird out there. It's making people do some weird stuff. Not that we haven't already been in the big weird. Anyway, have a good sleep. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you tomorrow for Holding Space Sundays, which will get into the Beltane fire energy and karma, which is what we're going to do tomorrow night. All right, guys. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Good night.